Just picked up Town to City? Well, I'm here to share my top 10 tips with you to make sure that you get the most out of your first playthrough. These tips are going to make your towns run smoother, give you more money than you know what to do with, and unlock the right things quicker, and ensuring that you have a bustling city to decorate in. I'm Harry from Power Plays. Now let's dive in. The first thing you need to know is that you have to plan ahead. You're going to need space for at least 18 houses for your first upgrade on your town, and on top of that you're going to want food stalls and shops spread out evenly so they reach as many houses as possible. But then don't forget the green areas also, because dense housing actually lowers happiness, so you need to make sure you're leaving room for parks, trees and little places for people to gather and relax. A little planning in your layout saves a lot of headaches later, so you don't have to continually move things around. The research tree decides how quickly your town evolves. Don't just unlock random things, focus on the upgrades that give you the most impact early. Unlocking the second floor on houses is huge because it saves you space, and expanding your shot range really helps keep citizens satisfied without cluttering the map. If you can make a few smart choices here, like upgrading your roads, expanding houses, getting more shops and more luxury items, you can really help give yourself a head start early. Something which could easily slip under the radar is shop connections. Shops can only serve a limited number of houses. They have a maximum amount of productivity, and if your demand outstrips this, you're going to have houses left with their needs unfulfilled. So connections really matter. It's easy to drop in a shop and just forget all about it, but if one shop's overloaded while the other one sits half empty, your citizens won't be happy. So keep an eye out on those connection lines, and don't be afraid to move some shops around to make sure you're covering everything. What I like to do is manually go into my shop connections, especially with the luxury houses, and make sure that the luxury items are serving the right houses, because those residents are going to get really unhappy if they're not getting their luxury needs met. Mayor requests is basically free money. Every so often, one of your residents is going to ask the mayor for a favour or two. It could be placing down a statue, building a really cool maze like this, moving the house close to the bakery to get that fresh bread smell. But either way, it's usually fairly simple to do, heavy on design, and at the end you get a big stack of money, which is really helpful early on. So if you're ever unsure on what to do next, it's just worth checking your Manor requests. And if you get enough of them done, you're going to be able to upgrade your house again and again. Tip 5 is a simple one. Continually build, spend your research points and decorate. Get that cash moving, because in Town to City there's a maximum amount that you can have, and early on it's only 4k. Now you can upgrade this later to hold more money and more research points, but once you hit the max, you stop earning. So don't let it sit there and do nothing. Keep building, keep upgrading, keep decorating, and the game rewards constant progress. So always put your money to work. And speaking of always building, I'm trying to build my channel to 4,000 subscribers, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my next content for Town to City. Something which maybe isn't explained as well is that you can move families once you place them in houses. Now some families come in with specific traits and needs. This one, for example, wants to be close to a food stall. Now I currently don't have any space in any of my houses next to food stalls, so what I do is I look for a family that I can move and move them to a different location. This then frees up the spot near the food stalls so that family can now get their happiness boost. In this example, I now place some extra trees so that all families are hitting their plus 20% boost to happiness, which is a big win. Decorating in Town to City is key, and really early on in the research tree, you can unlock the ability to decorate houses. This means you can actually place flowers on houses and other buildings, and they change their design depending on where they are in the building. This not only looks fantastic, but it gives your town and villagers a happiness boost. It's really easy to do, and it saves a lot of space, especially when you have those tall buildings and you can fully decorate them in flowers. It's really fun to do and it looks great, but also gives you that big happiness boost. The next one is a sneaky trap that I've definitely fallen into a few times. Once you unlock the ability to get new classes of residents in your town and you upgrade those buildings, you will lose those regular workers. Now, sometimes they'll turn into artisan workers if it's the artisan class, but if you're not upgrading artisan class and you're in the later game, you're just going to lose those workers because they just want luxury, they don't want to work at all. So, if you're not planning ahead and have spare capacity in your town, your whole economy is going to stall. Look out for this one. Upgrading roads can be expensive, but it's definitely beneficial for you to do so. Just from this small bit of road, I managed to reduce the number of workers in my warehouse by 4, which meant I can move them on to other things. In fact, I managed to run a whole city of 500 people with just 2 warehouses. It is expensive, but it's definitely worth the investment. And my final tip is around luxury buildings. As you reach the later stages of the game, don't just stick with the basics and start unlocking luxury buildings. Group your wealthier houses together and surround them with plazas, monuments and high-end shops and luxury items in order to keep them satisfied. It brings your city to life, but also those residents will not be happy if they're not living the life of luxury that they deserve. Now that's my top 10 essential tips for town to city. If you follow these, you're going to have big and beautiful cities which are running really smoothly, more money than you know what to do with, and very, very happy residents. And speaking of happiness, I would be really happy if you drop the video a like and subscribe to the channel. You'll get more cozy and management sim guides just like this. Make sure to check out my review for Town to City, and upcoming next is my top player mistakes and how to avoid them. Thanks for watching.